Hey folks, today we've got the scoop on the roller coaster that is Russell Westbrook's career. Once a basketball powerhouse, Westbrook now finds himself fading into the background. So, remember when the Clippers traded for James Harden? Disaster struck. 4 straight losses, including a humiliating defeat to the 1-8 Grizzlies. Ty Lue said he'd give it 10 games before making major changes, but when the record hit 0-5, the switch happened, and Russell Westbrook found himself riding the bench. Now, whether it was Russ's idea or not, one thing is for sure. That decision pretty much put the nail in the coffin of Westbrook's career. The Clippers won their first game with Russ on the bench, and boy, was it a show. Alperen Şener drives past Ivica Zubac, putting the Rockets up by 5. Jalen Green goes for the dagger, but Paul George swoops in with a block and a transition score. Game tied, 10 seconds left, and James Harden steps back and hits the and-one game winner, the first win since the big trade. The media was itching to ask Russ how he felt watching from the bench, but guess what? He was nowhere to be found. In fact, the Clippers have only lost 2 games since Russ took a seat in mid-November, and Russ has been dodging the media ever since. Is it embarrassment, frustration, or just plain denial? We may never know, but one thing is certain: Russ is fading into the background. Let's talk about Russ's sensitivity, especially when things aren't going his way. When the Clippers lost to Denver without Jokic and Jamal Murray, he lashed out at a fan in the stands. Now, the fan was probably disrespectful, but hey, Russ is extra sensitive, and right now, he's fading into the background. Going back to last year's playoffs, Russ's minutes have been cut from 39 a game to 34 before the Harden trade. Then, it went downhill fast. In his 4th game off the bench, Russ played just 14 minutes. That's as much as some random role player, not a former MVP. But hey, times have changed, and Russ is now a minimum contract role player, making less than Moses Moody, Ricky Rubio, and even Reggie Jackson, who recently cooked him on the court. Now, let's face it, both Russ and James are those players fans think would be phenomenal if they just tweaked a few things. Defense, moving off the ball, you name it. But at some point, you have to face reality. The reality for LA is crystal clear. They'd rather have Harden over Russ. A month ago, Russ was their guy, but oh, how times have changed. Let's rewind to last year's playoffs, when the Clippers faced off against KD and the Suns. Game 1 on the road, and boom, Russ swoops in with a dagger block on Devin Booker, sealing the win. He even knocks it off Book out of bounds, securing possession. Talk about clutch! But, surprise, surprise, Phoenix ties it up in Game 2. Kawhi goes out with an injury, leaving Russ to explode in Game 3. A 3-point game with 1:30 left, and Russ almost single-handedly takes on KD, Booker, and CP3. Talk about a one-man show. Post-series, they ask Russ about his future with the Clippers.
There was a lot of uncertainty from both sides when you joined about what your role might be, how it would kind of work out. When did that kind of weight off your shoulder, the peace of mind aspect kind of kick in? You were like, all right, I can be me. I don't have to worry about this happening here, there, all that. When did that kind of weight lift off your shoulders?
Once I got traded, immediately, to be honest, from that moment, mentally, I was in a better place.
Uncertainty loomed from both sides when he first joined, but when did that weight lift off his shoulders? Immediately, he says after getting traded. A little dig at the Lakers, and we're here for it. Russ felt at home on the Clippers last year and at the beginning of this year, happily signing a minimum deal to stay. But, hold on, here comes James Harden to mess it all up. Despite the facade of smiles and positive rhetoric, the meeting minutes uncover a stark reality. Actions carry more weight than words, my friends. Russ isn't just playing fewer minutes. He's not even starting or finishing games. The crux of the issue lies in Russ and Harden sharing the court. It's akin to trying to force 2 puzzle pieces together that simply don't fit. Both players require control of the ball to showcase their talents, and when they play simultaneously, their effectiveness plummets. In recent games, the Clippers faced issues when playing Russ and Harden together. This combo congests the paint, limiting scoring opportunities. Harden, used to being the primary ball handler, struggles off ball, leading to turnovers. Similar problems emerged in their Houston days, where the team performed better with only one of them on the court. Attempts to solve this by involving non-shooters like Zubac haven't worked, resulting in losses. The shared ball handling between Russ and Harden isn't proving successful for the team. You see, in the world where shooting is king, Russ kinda missed the memo. You've got Harden on one side, a sharpshooter extraordinaire, and then there's Russ, whose three-point game is more of a no-go zone. So, what do? Well, you pick Harden over Russ, and that's where the drama unfolds. Russ is currently benched and unhappy, throwing shade at fans and reporters. His chance with the Clippers, once a perfect fit for a championship run, is gone. If he's traded or cut, landing on a good team in a significant role seems unlikely. He might end up starting on a struggling team after trades, like the Bulls post-Purge. But that might not align with his pride and financial considerations. He's not aiming to replicate scenarios where players put up stats on sinking teams, like Michael Jordan or Kyle Kuzma. So why is his career likely over? Pride and money, my friends. Russ has his sights set on becoming the third NBA billionaire, after MJ and LeBron. It's a goal he can actually reach, and it's more appealing than uprooting his family for a short stint in Charlotte. The alternative? Join a contender but take a back seat. The Suns and Celtics could use the depth, but picture this. Russ is back in OKC. He started that franchise in Oklahoma, and it would be epic to see him mentor the next generation. Remember those deep playoff runs with KD? Conference Finals, NBA Finals in 2012. That was the golden era. After KD left, Russ turned the city into believers. A season focused on breaking Oscar Robertson's triple-double record, and the night he did it, pure magic. Russ broke the record with his 10th assist, but he wasn't done. Down 10 points, he took over, scoring at the rim to bring OKC within 2 points with 3 seconds left. The Thunder drew up an inbounds play. Everyone knew Russ would take the last shot, and boom, deep shot, swish.
Back to Russ, deep shot, get it! What a perfect end!
That's the Russ we all remember, the one who thinks he can still be. But alas, the Clippers don't share the sentiment. If they did, they wouldn't have brought in James Harden. Part of me wonders if Russ saw the writing on the wall the moment that trade went down. It's a sad narrative, but maybe, just maybe, in the back of his mind, he knew his playing days were over. So if this is the end, let's remember Russ at his peak, not as the guy the Lakers and Clippers gave up on. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to stay in the loop.